Dear first year and second year students, how are you? I hope all of you are fine by the grace of Almighty Allah. I'm also fine. I'm Rabiul Hussein, your English teacher. In my last class, I discussed the basic ideas about free modifiers. Today, I'm going to discuss force modifiers. Now, the question is, what are the grammatical items that are basically used as force modifiers? Okay. Have a look on the screen. You see there are a number of grammatical items like prepositional phrase, infinitive, infinitive phrase, participle phrase, appositive, relative clause, adverb, and adverb phrase. You see, these are the grammatical items that are basically used as force modifier. Okay. Now come to the next slide, that is prepositional phrase. A prepositional phrase is a group of words. That means that prepositional phrase is a group of words, is a collection of words that lacks either a verb or subject. In prepositional phrase, there is no verb or there is no subject. It lacks subject or, or verb, and that functions as a unified parts of a speech. It normally consists of preposition and a noun or pronoun. Okay, this is most important. A prepositional phrase basically consists of a preposition and a noun or pronoun. So what are the sum and substance of prepositional phrase? You see, prepositional phrase, a collection of words, a group of words that doesn't have subject and verb. Okay, and it functions as a unified parts of a speech. And the important information about prepositional phrase is that it consists of a preposition and a noun or pronoun. There are four examples. Have a look. The book is on the table. She is in the room now. The child is with her mother. A man of principle can never do this. So in these examples, on the table is a prepositional phrase. Here on preposition, the table, noun. So it's noun, it's prepositional phrase. She is in the room now. In preposition here, in the room, prepositional phrase. The child is with her mother, with preposition. With her mother is prepositional phrase. Of principle, of preposition, principal noun. So it's prepositional phrase. So in prepositional phrase, you will see preposition at the very beginning and noun or pronoun after preposition. Okay. That is infinitive. So what is infinitive? An infinitive is formed from a verb, but doesn't act as a verb. And it is actually made up of two words, that is to plus verb. So there are three information. That is, an infinitive is basically formed from a verb, but it doesn't act as a verb. Infinitive is not a verb, but it is formed from verb. Okay. And it is made up of two words, that is to plus verb. You know that infinitive means to plus verb. There are three examples here. You see, it is essential for us to lead a healthy life. He told me to go. We eat to live. So you see in the first sentence, to lead is to plus verb, so it is infinitive. In the second sentence, to go, to plus verb, so it is infinitive. In the third sentence, to plus verb, that is infinitive. So to lead, to go, to live, these are the examples of infinitive. Now that is infinitive phrase. An infinitive phrase is the infinitive form of verb plus any complements or modifiers. So you see, infinitive phrase is the infinitive form of verb plus any other complements or modifiers. In a word, you see, Infinitive phrase means to plus bar plus other words. In a word, you can call it to plus bar plus other words. You see, there are two examples here. Here, it's a great sin to tell a lie. It's a great virtue to speak the truth. Have a look, to tell. After this is infinitive. But when we say to tell a lie, is infinitive phrase. To speak is infinitive, no doubt. But when we say to speak the truth, it becomes infinitive phrase. So you see, to tell a lie, to speak the truth, these are the examples of infinitive phrase. I repeat, infinitive means to plus verb, but when we call it infinitive phrase, it will be to plus verb plus other words. Present participle phrase. A present participle phrase begins with present participle. That means the ing form of verb and any objects or modifiers. So you see, present participle. Present participle means verb in ing form. When we are talking about present participle phrase, it will be verb plus ing form plus other words. Verb plus ing form plus other words. Have a look. The girl singing a sweet song is a student. The man working in the field is my brother. The people dancing in the party are jolly. So have a look. Singing a sweet song. Singing is present participle here. Singing is present participle here. But when we are talking about singing a sweet song, it becomes present participle phrase. Okay. In the same way, in the example B, you see working in the field. Here, working is present participle. Working is present participle verb in ing form. But when we are talking about working in the field, it becomes present participle phrase. Dancing in the party. Dancing is present participle here. But dancing in the party is the example of present participle phrase. So in present participle phrase, you will see that verb in ing form plus other words. Okay. First participle phrase. A first participle phrase begins with a first participle. The first participle form of verb and any objects or modifiers. In a word, we can call it first participle form of verb plus other words. First participle form of verbs plus other words. There are three examples. Have a look. The bridges damaged by floods or the bridges destroyed by floods need repairing. You see, damaged or destroyed is the example of first participle form of verb. Damaged or destroyed is the first participle form of verb. Okay. In the same way, the watch made in Japan is very costly. Made is here first participle form of make. We should not exalt over a fallen foe in the world. Fallen is the first participle form of fall. Okay. So when we are talking about damaged by floods or destroyed by floods, it becomes past participle phrase because past participle form of verb plus other words. In the same way, made in Japan. Made is past participle form of verb plus other words in Japan. Okay, made in Japan, here example of past participle phrase. In the same way, fallen foe in the world. Fallen is past participle form of verb, so plus other words. So it is the example of past participle phrase. Perfect participle. A perfect participle is a participle that expresses an action or a state as just finished. That means that perfect participle basically expresses an action or a state that is finished. That is finished. So the perfect participle is made up by prefixing having to the past participle. So you see, perfect participle consists of having plus verb in past participle form. Having plus verb in past participle form. But when we are talking about perfect participle phrase, it will be having plus verb in past participle plus other words. I repeat, when we are talking about perfect participle phrase, it will be having plus verb in past participle form plus other words. Have a look. Having finished the job, the boy left for home. So here, having is there as prefix. finished. First participle form of finish, other words, the job. So having finished the job is the example of perfect participle phrase. Having completed the story, the writer wrote a novel. Having completed the story, so you see having completed is the example of perfect participle, but when we are talking about having completed the story, we are talking about perfect participle phrase. In the same way, having swum in the pond, he went to the field. Having swum is the example of perfect participle. But when we are talking about uh, having swum in the pond, it becomes perfect participle phrase. So you see, in a perfect participle phrase, you will find having plus verb in first participle form plus other words. Appositive. Appositives are nouns or noun phrases that follow or come before a noun and give more information about it. You see, appositive basically gives an extra information about noun. Okay, so it comes before a noun and it gives more information. You see, Mr. Rahman, principal of our college, went to Dhaka yesterday. So you see, principal of our college, this is an extra information about Mr. Rahman. Okay, we can omit it like Mr. Rahman went to Dhaka yesterday. The sentence can express its meaning. So we can say principal of our college, it is an appositive and it is an extra information about Mr. Rahman. Mr. Rahman, principal of our college, went to Dhaka yesterday. So principal of our college is an appositive. John Keats, a famous romantic poet, wrote Ode to a Nightingale. Here, a famous romantic poet. This is an extra information about Mr. John Keats. Okay, so a famous romantic poet, this is an example of appositive. I saw Mashrafi, captain of our national cricket team. Here, captain of our national cricket team, this is an example of appositive because this is an extra information about Captain Mashrafi. So you see, appositive means basically an extra information about subject. Here, Mr. Rahman, principal of our college, John Keats, a famous romantic poet, I saw Mashrafi, captain of our national cricket team. So, principal of our college, a famous romantic poet, captain of our national cricket team. These are the examples of appositive. And this adds an extra information about subject. Okay, in the first sentence, Mr. Rahman. In the second sentence, John Keats. In the third sentence, Mashrafi. Okay, come to the next one, that is relative clause. Relative clauses are clauses starting with the relative pronouns like who, what, that, which, whose, where, when. So basically, relative clauses begin with WS word. Okay, so you see, they are most often used to define or identify the noun that precedes them. Basically, the relative clause the relative clauses are the adjective clauses. The relative clauses are synonymous with what? Are adjective clause. So you see, every relative clause basically begins with WS word. We can also begin it with that clause. Have a look. The man who came here is my brother. Who came here? This is the example of relative clause or adjective clause. The girls who are plucking flowers are my sisters. Who are plucking flowers? This is the example of relative clause or adjective clause. The boy whom you help is my friend. Whom you help. This is the example of relative clause or adjective clause. In the same way, the pen which you took, the pen which take me, taka. This will be taka. Taka 50 is lost. The book which I bought yesterday is very interesting. So you see, who came here, who are plucking flowers, whom you help, who is took me taka 50, who is I bought yesterday. These are the examples of relative pronoun, relative clause, sorry. These are the examples of relative clause and these are the examples of adjective clause. Okay, you see. Now the question is, how will you find it as relative clause or adjective clause? You see, you will find noun or pronoun. You will find noun or pronoun as antecedent. You see, man is there, girls is there, boy is there, pen is there, book is there. So these are the nouns. So every relative clause begins with basically relative pronouns. Every relative clause begins with relative pronoun, and before that you will find a noun or pronoun like man, girls, boy, pen, book. Okay, so these are the examples of relative clause, or we can also call it as adjective clause. Now, adverb. An adverb is a word that modifies or describes a verb, an adjective, another adverb, or even a sentence. So you see, adverb can modify verb, adjective, adverb, or even the full sentence. You see, there are three examples. Deforestation means cutting down of trees recklessly. So recklessly is modifying verb. Recklessly is modifying verb. As a result, we do not get sick easily. Sick here is adverb. Sorry, adjective. Here easily modifies adjective. The passage above is very difficult. Okay, it is modifying uh, the full sentence. It is modifying the full sentence. So you see, basically, adverbs can be used as post modifier. You see, there are three examples. Deforestation means cutting down of trees. Here, recklessly is adverb. As a result, we do not get sick easily. Here, easily is adverb. The passage above is very difficult. Here, above is what? Adverb. Adverbial or adverb phrase. An adverb phrase is simply a group of two or more words that function as an adverb in sentence. That means that adverbial or adverb phrase basically consists of two or more than words that function as adverb. Just as an adverb can modify a verb, adjective, or another adverb, an adverb phrase of more than one word can further describe a verb, adverb, or adjective. Okay. Adverbial phrase can also modify adverb, verb, and adjective. Adverb phrases typically answer the questions how, where, why, when something was done. Okay. When you will ask question by using WS word why, how, where, when, you will get the answer, and it will be adverb or adverbial phrase. So you see there are three examples like Nazrul sang the song of equality throughout his life. If you ask the question when, you will get the answer throughout his life. Deforestation means cutting down of trees at random. How? If you ask the question using WS word how, you'll get the answer that is at random. I used to rise early in the morning. If you ask question by using when, you'll get the answer early in the morning. So throughout his life, at random, early in the morning, these are the examples of adverbial or adverb phrase. Okay. So you see, there are a number of grammatical items that we can use as post modifier. Okay, no more today. Have a nice day. I honestly request you to watch the video, to watch the tutorial, and try to understand what I have discussed. And one more request to you is that you have to write down your name in the comment box, and you'll also mention your name, role, your group. Okay, and year also. Okay, thank you.